Well, yesterday, the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris, France, basically burned to the ground. There's been a lot of conspiracy theories going around about Muslims and attacks and fires and all the nonsense. I'll be honest with you, I've been part of renovation crews, and I do realize that oftentimes bad shit happens during these times. All right, like I've had houses I was working on go up in flames overnight because rags were set together that ended up combusting over the middle of the night with heat and dust and things of this nature. I've seen guys try to put out cigarette butts, plumbers out here, redoing plumbing work, torching out something and catching some shit on fire. Bad things tend to happen. Electrical shorts, old knob and tube running through places, rats chewing through electric lines, gas leaks. There's lots of ways that a place can go up in flames of this nature. Now, let's be perfectly honest here about something, all right? This church was built in 1160, was completed by 1260 for the most part. It had the flying buttresses put in the 1300s. But ultimately, this is not the first time it was damaged. During the 1790s and the French Revolution, during the French Revolution, it ended up most of the religious works and a lot of the art inside of there was desecrated. It wasn't until the 1820s when a dude named Victor Hugo wrote The Hunchback of Notre Dame that anybody even really paid attention to it. That's kind of the situation. And then after that, it got an extensive renovation and it became a major part of French history in the way we think of it today. It's a lot of these type of things inside of our history, inside of our basic ways of thinking about stuff. We think that things are always the way they are. Always, we thought that things are just, this is how it always has been. And that's not really the truth. There's a number of these things, the way we think about, capitalism, the way we think about communism, the way we think about socialism, the way we think about, even females' rights and voting. These are new ideas for the most part. A lot of these things are. And these are things that we have to remember when we look at stuff like this. Number one, that this, yes, it's an old temple. Before that temple sat a church. Before that church sat a temple to Jupiter during the Roman times. These are all things that have happened. And with the fall of European society, with the fall of European culture, let's be perfectly honest. We should have all been preparing ourselves for things like this. It's kind of like when you have an old family member, who's sick and cancerous and diabetic, whatever the case might be. You should prepare yourself mentally for them to pass. It shouldn't be something that hits you very suddenly. It should be something that inside of your head, it's going to happen. You shouldn't celebrate it when it does. You shouldn't stand here and, smile as it goes through. But on the same point, you should just know that it's coming. And keep that mental armor up. Because we know what's going to happen before it does. And if you don't, then you're not paying attention. I apologize for those of you who have not been paying attention. But this is kind of a Viking funeral for Western culture. It is what it is. But I wanted to drop this on y'all. There are millions of dollars pledged in support for rebuilding this. I don't know. I really don't know. Is it worth it? It's in the eye of the beholder. I'll never go to France. To be perfectly honest with you, I have no reason to. I'm not French. Maybe Schmeckel can go over there and check it out. He has French heritage, I think. But yo, this is Tom P's with Pinoid News, man. Y'all know the deal. I'll drop another one here in a little bit. Later.